I would like to introduce you to the Sports Dialogue Podcast, host Paul Edwards. Paul played quarterback for Wagner College from 1978 to 1981. Paul graduated from Wagner College in 1982 with a 3.2 grade point average. Paul earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration, along with an accounting minor. Paul also took many education courses. After graduating from Wagner College, Paul Edwards pursued playing professional football. Paul had tryouts with 3 professional franchises in the United States Football League and 1 franchise in the Canadian Professional Football League. Paul also played 2 years of semi-pro football with the New Jersey Rams. While pursuing professional football career, Paul had already began a professional business career. Paul started his professional business career as a marketing representative and a major account representative for the Xerox Corporation. At the age of 25, Paul became one of the youngest sales managers in the Xerox Corporation. In 1986, Paul was featured in a cover story in the Black Enterprise magazine. In 1988, Paul started his first small business. Since then, Paul has never looked back. Paul has owned and operated his own small businesses for the past 37 years. Paul believes that if you work at something you like to do, work will be fun. Paul also served as a board member on the board of the Connecticut World Affairs Council. Paul Edwards also teamed up with the New York Knicks to help to bring smiles to the faces of some of the children in Connecticut at Christmas. Paul also posts weekly videos of himself exercising in an effort to encourage people of all ages and from all backgrounds to exercise. Paul is a champion for the message that exercise is great for your mind and body. Exercising gives us all a better chance to live a healthier life. Paul encourages you to first get your doctor's approval and then begin to exercise 3 to 4 days per week. Light exercising is fine. Just be consistent with your exercise routine. God bless.
This video podcast will feature dialogue about and with professional, college, high school players, coaches, management, executives, officials, fans, the role of sports in society, how sports affects the economy, the social benefits of sports in all communities, how to keep sports as safe as possible, how to ensure sports retirees are not forgotten, and how do we ensure that sports continue to play a positive role in the lives of all people worldwide. It is our goal to have guests join us and participate in the sports dialogue during our episodes.
Hello, everyone. Tonight, March 13th, 2026, we have the 2 semifinal games of the Big East Men's Basketball Tournament, which are going to be played at Madison Square Garden in New York City. In the first game, we have St. John's versus Seton Hall. I am picking St. John's to win that game. In the second game, we have UConn Huskies versus the Georgetown Hoyas. And I am picking the UConn Huskies to win that game. It'll be good. It'll be loud at the Garden. You know, New York fans are always good and loud fans, respectful, but they cheer. You know, they get their money's worth, which is good. That's what sports is all about. That was Creighton and Seton Hall. And I told you that I'd seen Creighton. I understood their game, understood that they like to spread the floor, shoot the threes. And I hadn't really got a chance to evaluate Seton Hall. I just couldn't, you know, I'm the type of guy that needs to see, you know, the team and make my evaluations. While I listen to what other folks say, you know, I don't make my determinations on what other people say. I take that into consideration, but I like to see the team for myself. And I hadn't seen Seton Hall, and I did see Creighton, so I did pick Creighton, and Creighton lost. Now, I saw the game. Seton Hall is a very good team. There's no question about it. I have a lot of connections to New Jersey. I played semi-pro football in New Jersey for 2 years. I played with with the New Jersey Rams, and there were a lot of players on that team that lived in New Jersey, obviously played football across the country, and they came back home after their college football career. And we all were trying to get into the USFL or the NFL to play professional football. So got a chance to meet a lot of good young men, played together, a lot of talented individuals. In college, when I quarterbacked with Wagner, played against Seton Hall in New Jersey. A lot of good friends in New Jersey, as I said. So, I have, special feelings for New Jersey, but I hadn't seen Seton Hall, so I couldn't pick them. But let's look what happened. I saw the game, and Creighton had their shots. Creighton is a three-point shooting team. They shoot threes, and they shot threes at a rate of 24% from three-point line. They took 34 three-point shots and only made 8. That's very, very unusual for Creighton. And that was it right there. I think they lost the game by 11 points. So even if they made 5 more threes, or even if they made 13 threes of the 34, that would have, that's another 15 points right there, and they lost by 11 points. Well, Creighton had their chances, but you have to give credit to Seton Hall. They played well. They shot 40% from the field, and from three-point land, they shot 40%, and a little bit on the 80% with their free throws. And both teams were even on rebounds. Seton Hall had 39, and Creighton had 36. But the glaring difference there that I saw, and I while I didn't have the stats in front of me when I was watching the game, I noticed that Creighton was missing a lot of threes, which they don't usually do. So I did lose that one. Seton Hall did win, so congratulations to Seton Hall. I am picking to win the Big East Championship game tonight, the UConn Huskies. No disrespect to St. John's. I root for all the New York teams. I grew up in New York, went to school in New York, public school, high school. I'm an Erasmus Hall graduate. I'll talk about my Erasmus Hall days on a future episode. A lot of friends in Brooklyn. I went to school at Wagner College, so I'm at New York at heart. But tonight, I am going with the UConn Huskies.